And only 3 minutes into our qualifying session, the grid is all but set here for the first race of the round of 7. And this is the Beckman Designs 79.5 from the production and commentary for tonight's event. I'm David Carezza. Hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast as we get things underway. And it looks like the good majority of the field has already put their best times down and have put their best foot forward to get it started at the last great coliseum, which is where else but Bristol Motor Speedway. Ethan Duweldy going to be on the way now for the first time. Michael Deitch going to be on pit road, and James Thurston, who we did not anticipate entering this event, it looks like he is here, and all 7 to start this round off are in attendance as we have 2 races in the round of 7 before we kick things off in the championship hunt, the one and only Final Four event at Phoenix Raceway. Daytona going to be the last event before we get the championship race in, the season coming to a close, and it has been a great one so far. James Thurston, who had a race of his life at Watkins Glen International last week, now back and looking to double it up and settle the score for the championship and lock himself in to the round of 4 as we get things going. James Thurston on your screen. Michael Deitch going to come out on pit road now, and Michael Deitch, who's becoming a bit of an NASCAR competitor, learning a thing or two from the best in the business. This week he qualified for the B Main and NASCAR College Series, which gives away scholarship money to college students who are able to race and put their talents on the sim. Deitch, one of those talents, and he's still on a controller right now. Mind you, it is going to be a much harder challenge, and he is still up to the test. 18 drivers have put laps in. James Thurston is in 4th, and it's going to be Matthew Brower top of the board. It's Bristol, baby, and anything could happen. Brower still chasing win number 1 on the year. He's been oh so close, runner-up far too many times to count. And Michael Deitch right now going to be 18th on the charts, about 8/10 back on your provisional pole sitter. That time by, he looks to be done and done with his run up to 14th as Ethan Duweldy is on pit road, and it looks like Deitch is still rolling, albeit much slower, and he will be one of the very few drivers remaining on the track. James Thurston also going to be there, but it looks like it's going to be Matthew Brower, the top man on the board. So as we have just a bit of time, we'll try to get an interview in before we get the show rolling. James Thurston, the only driver here in qualifying who's still taking laps. These are not time laps. He'll be starting in the middle of our 23 car field at the last great coliseum, and it looks like very few drivers available for comment just yet. So we'll wait around and see if we can get a few more guys in, as it looks like the top drivers not into the voice chats tonight. Aiden Walker is one of which, with Cash Culp, and it looks like one other driver there, and it might be Jonathan Leisure as they get this thing rolling very soon. 4 minutes 13 seconds remaining. That is the time before we get this thing in line. And a half a mile here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Half mile, it's actually going to be 0.533 miles in total. And the calculations done down to the 1,000th of a mile here. And it could come down to a 1,000th of a second. We've seen some classic photo finishes at Bristol before. And as James Thurston continues to get a roll on it, it looks like no other driver will go out onto the track. Every driver eligible to take a lap has taken one. So without further ado, we will get in our race. Well, our qualifying results. The race not underway. Michael Deitch going to be on track. James Thurston is as well. So give us just a moment as we get your starting grid on for tonight's event. And the show will be on its way in just about 3 minutes time, if not less than that, as drivers are still settling into their cars. Deitch going to be there as the wide angle shot showing every inch of this circuit. The stands are not packed just yet, but when we get it rolling here in Bristol, Tennessee, I'm certain that the virtual grandstands will be as packed as ever. The 57 machine with a very few cars still going around as we get your starting lineup here for tonight's event in Bristol. 3 minutes exactly on the board, and let's get it going here in the 16th round of the FORL Cup Series. Is going to be the Beckman Designs 79.5, and this is your starting grid for tonight's event. The bridesmaid perennially in this championship hunt, Matthew Brower, with a 14.517 starting us off on the pole position. Sean Conklin will be there in second, 14.53 run, and that's going to be Bryce Hamrick in third, 14.564, and Aiden Walker, position number 4 with a 14.5. 7-3. From there on out, going to be Max Molina in 5th and Sean Rowe in 6th, separated by 0.04 of a second. A 6.47 for Molina and a 6.83 for Sean Rowe. Ross Corlett there as well with a 14.691, 7th spot on the board for the CCH Motorsports machine. Also in the championship hunt as Dustin Pickle in the 21, going to be right beside his teammate, 14.717. Hunter Whitlock, who locked up that win in Talladega for his teammate Max Molina, going to be there in 9th, making a late season search in the number 35 machine. 35 position, well, he's not going to be. He is going to be 35 in the number's sake. 14.728 for the driver, lining up in 9th. And outside of the 5th row, Brandon Redford has turned on the Jets here in the playoffs. One of the most consistent drivers so far. 10th on the board. 14.751. From there on out, it's going to include James Thurston in the 11th spot and Wyatt Stevens in 12th, as Daniel Krim going to be in 13th. Thurston with an 8.11 and Wyatt Stevens with an 8.18. Daniel Krim coming home with a 14.880. Michael Deitch going to be able to make it into the 14th spot, 14.905. And Cash Culp and the 057 going to be there in 15th with a 14.921. Joseph Lewis going to be there in the mix. He's going to have a 15.0088 thousandths away from a flat 15, as Jonathan Leisure going to be there with a 15.116, 15 seconds on the board for the man in 17th. Now it's going to be the 18th spot driver. It's going to be Hunter Bogdan. Not a lot of luck since the elimination in the championship hunt. 15.201 for the driver, starting second last on time in 18th. Ethan DeWeldy rounds out the drivers who are able to take a time lap, and that will be a 15th machine. Of course, in terms of number, 19th on the board with a 15.404. Joaquin Stewart going to be right there in the number 20 spot right now. The 79 machine going to round out that top 20, and this is 11th through 20th. And only one other driver going to be populating the grid. Zachary Milano not going to be registered for a moment, but now we have a few extras. Zach Milano, Connor Asbell, John Smith, and Travis Kornberg are not taking qualifying laps, and that's going to be your starting grid for tonight's event. The Beckman Designs 7-9.5, and Kroenberg a winner in IORA at Bristol. The success could transfer over. That we will see, as Michael Deitch still taking extra practice laps, getting himself accustomed to the racing surface, as the show will get on the road in just a moment. Michael Deitch on his final practice lap, and from here on out, the race will go, hopefully without interruption. 7.5 miles, which will come out to just about 150 odd laps. We'll find out the full calculations as soon as we get onto the starting grid. And the 57 Deitch, knowing that time is up, he has been depopulated from the session temporarily, and now it's going to be all up to the drivers to get back in for 150 laps flat, and we're doing about 4 laps a minute. This could be a quick one if we do not have yellows. Matthew Brower going to be in first, Sean Conklin going to be in position number 2, and Bryce Hammock there in third in just a moment, as it is going to be the man of the 73 who leads us off for the first time in this season. Well, from the playoff standpoint, at the very least, as he's looking to get his first victory of the season as well. Matthew Brower in the 73 lined up beside championship contender Sean Conklin, and with a round of 7 being a final round before the playoffs conclude with a championship event in 2 weeks' time. It is now more than ever that you want to start up in front. Brower with a pole, but the driver who's starting the highest of any driver of the round of 7, it is Sean Conklin, and the stands are packed in this half-mile coliseum, and it's the last great coliseum for a reason. No matter how this track has been configured, pavement, dirt, asphalt, concrete, we always get great racing. So here we go, 150 laps to settle the score in Bristol, and it's going to be led off by the 73 machine, as the drivers will grab a gear in just a moment's notice. Only Dustin Pickle going to be not on the track. Hunter Bogdan, Joaquin Stewart, Zach Milano, and Connor Asbell not there as well. So they get on, or when we hit that time limit, the race will go as scheduled. A total of 23 drivers looking to get this one on, as Bogdan and Pickle still not there. Now it looks like Pickle is going to load in any moment now, but nonetheless, the round of 7 is here. It is now, and coming into this round, the driver who is leading the championship standings, well, who else but the man who's had so much success in this playoffs hunt, and the man who won at Talladega. Max Molina leads by 1 point over James Thurston, and the top 4 is going to be Sean Rowe, Brandon Redford behind the 2, the 96, and the Max Molina machine, the number 45. So without further ado, we're going to grab a gear this time by and get things rolling in Tennessee. The iRacing official pace car waiting to move any minute now. It's show on the road. It is going for the first time tonight. Going to be right there with them, of course, the 73 and the 54. The Tavares Arts number 73 looking to have a masterpiece of a race. It's all possible as Bristol, one of those tracks that you cannot predict. And this will be the final pace lap before we get it on. Looks like one lap to green. They could extend on the administration side, but the iRacing official pace car ready to let these guys do battle as Bristol all up to the jurisdiction of the drivers. You can get 2 laps, or rather 2 miles done in about a minute, 2 laps in half a minute, and it looks like it will be one more lap to pace around as Sean Conklin goes way out in front of your pace car. Going to go down pit road as a matter of fact, so testing out the pit road entry. That might give him a penalty. Not sure if that's going to do so, but he will be allowed to go back into his normal position, although he's actually going to take a pit stop here. That might be a penalty, and that I believe it is. Due to aggression at Watkins Glen, Sean Conklin handed out a penalty to get this one going, and now he's starting at the end of the line in Bristol, and he will be finishing off, hopefully much higher than where he's going to start. Much higher indeed is the end goal, as Matthew Brower now lines up beside Aiden Walker with Bryce Hamrick in the number 3 spot now, as the Golan CCH machine with a much different look actually looks to be a full invert on the Rod Car sponsor number 94, looking to twist some luck and twist some fate. But the last great Coliseum looking to seal a date with destiny. Some of these drivers are green flags out in the Beckman Designs 7 to 9.5. And already about a lap in, it's going to be Matthew Brower, your former race leader in the wall. Sean Rowe leads lap number 1 in the number 99 machine, and Aiden Walker going to hold on in second. Now, this is when the race gets intense. You can already see aggression boiling over. John Smith going to come down to pit road. Travis Kroenberg is already wrecked. Caution is out. Let's find out what happened. And checking back half a minute here, the Travis Kroenberg machine goes down to the inside line, and he's there with Hunter Bogdan, and Bogdan comes up, and Kroenberg does as well, and no take, no give, as a matter of fact, and they all take it up to the high side, and the 69 goes around after one green flag wrap, and that's going to be a wrap, perhaps for the run that Sean Conklin was having in the back. He's 2 laps down already, and Travis Kroenberg in the 69 now going to be 1 down in our first incident of the night, going to involve the number 69. Sean Conklin 2 laps down as Kroenberg going to come in. Looks like this time through. No, he's not. He's going to stay on the circuit, hoping to get some time back. Sean Conklin gets 1 lap back, and I believe in addition to his penalty, he can only get iRacing mandated laps back. Now, since Sean Conklin was not involved in that incident and Travis Kroenberg was, he gets 1 lap back on his total of 2 laps accumulated. And now Kroenberg going to be right in front of Conklin in terms of position. 4 laps in, out of 150, and Aiden Walker leads Bryce Hamrick, Max Molina, Brandon Redford, and then going to be Ross Corlett in the position number 6. 4 laps down to the 150. A lot going to go on as we will hope to get it back green this time or the next. It could be a shortened yellow, and this time it looks like it won't be 2 laps to green for the last great Coliseum. And Sean Rowe able to jump out to an early lead thanks to the incident that Matthew Brower was involved in. Now, Brower, that number 73 machine, got involved with an incident with the Tavares Arts machine going way up into the wall on the first lap. We'll get an instant replay as a matter of fact, since we have just a bit of time. And you can see by that point, he's already up into the wall. And the reason Aiden Walker clips him, sends him up there. And the 93 getting a bit aggressive, even though he's not involved in the championship hunt. He's looking for a win nonetheless, and that's going to cost him because Brower not going to be happy. And these two have nothing to lose in the championship hunt, mind you. So it could get a bit more about revenge as the night goes on. Brower not going to be happy as we are getting ready to go 1 lap to green in Bristol. And it looks like that we will not this time by. Admins are choosing to keep it under yellow. 6 laps in out of a total of 150. And it's going to be Sean Rowe leading Aiden Walker, Bryce Hamrick, Max Molina, and Brandon Redford as John Smith goes way high up there, getting 1 lap back. Looks like all drivers going to be given an opportunity to get on the lead lap. Sean Conklin given 1 as well, and now it is going to be 1 to green this time by as John Smith 22nd and dead last. Going to be able to do it right and get back on with your leaders and get the show on the road. Sean Rowe will with the aggressive Aiden Walker right beside him. Let's get back out of this time by the iRacing official pace car going to dive off. We will be green once again in Bristol. And the first restart, nice and smooth that time by for your new race leader. And it looks like now it's going to be Max Molina and Bryce Hamrick, as a matter of fact, fighting for just a moment as the Hamrick machine goes there with Ross Corlett. And James Thurston in 6 keeps him on lock. Thurston in that number 96 machine, I tell you what, looking at the roll bar camera, he is getting a bit of a run to the high side. Following Ross Corlett here, it looks like the momentum is prevailing for now. And the 96 using that to make his way just a bit higher than where he was before in position. Now going to be position number 5 on the board and top 5 for one of the top drivers in this season. And his championship rival in Max Molina right in front of him, about 2 spots up. Now going to be 1 spot up as Corlett goes way high and James Thurston follows the number 45 machine around, and Corlett gets in the wall immediately thereafter. Hunter Bogdan now going to be about 12 seconds down, in jeopardy of being lapped already, as Sean Rowe going to come up on the Bogdan machine. And Hunter has not been having a series of great runs in the past few weeks after his elimination in the round of, well, actually, the cutoff for the round of 11. He was out by 1 point, and it has been a downward spiral ever since. He's up on the wall, as a matter of fact, letting the leaders by. As Ethan DeWeldy going to come out of pit road that time by. We'll find out just what happened. And DeWeldy goes down and in, and looks like the 15 machine got squirrely by himself, bangs into the tire barrier. And it actually is going to be a bit of a safer run, as that's going to be a safer barrier. Thankfully for him, he'll be able to get it back in nice and smooth. He's retired for the night. That's going to be done and done for Ethan DeWeldy. He was one of the first drivers out of that round of 11 that we were speaking of just a moment before. Sean Rowe going to be able to lead him in with 14 laps out of 150 in the books. And Aiden Walker going to be in second with Max Molina in third. Hunter Whitlock going to be able to lock himself in now and lock it down indeed. The 35 machine holds on strong, and the FedEx ground machine staying grounded so far in this event. 15 laps out of 150. So much time is still available to every one of these drivers. And you got to think about the long term when it comes to all of these races. This is not just racing out there for fun like early races were, say Daytona, say COTA, where there was not a much of the points battle on the line. It's going to be all about how you take it in from here on out. And if you don't take it correctly, don't take it kindly, you will be in a world of trouble. Going to be 3 stages tonight. One of the few events that does have 3 stages. First of which comes at lap number 40. Next going to be coming at lap number 90. And then the final going to be coming at lap 150. So Whitlock, knowing he has time to catch up to that number 35 machine, going to use all that time and keep himself in play. Third is going to be Max Molina, as it looks like James Thurston losing just a bit of time. He's now down to 11th once again and fighting hard with Michael Deitch. And it looks like the sun is setting here in Bristol. It's going to end up being a night race, and that's why the lighting changed so drastically. 3 wide going to be Michael Deitch there with James Thurston. They're able to save it, and how we ride up over the man of that number 96 machine. Check out what's going on for the Thurston Machinery, the 96. And you would see now, riding down to the inside line, James Thurston takes it in. Now, this is essential to the way he drives it. When you go down to the inside line, so much distance is eliminated from the run. But Matthew Brower, you can see, has so much speed off exit because he takes that high side, and the banking lasts for just a little bit longer. And that edge, well, it gives you so much more power and so much more drive right off. You're just able to make it all happen and make it all stick like there's no big deal. You can see the 7-3 machine able to make it so on Wyatt Stevens that time by, and Michael Deitch there, as well as Wyatt Stevens in the 74 machine back in the FORL Cup Series, is now side by side with Travis Kroenberg. Kroenberg is 1 lap down at the moment. Hunter Bogdan is 9 laps down, coming back onto the track, and Cash Colton going to be 5 down as Daniel Krim has a bit of a slide, not a spin. He's going to be able to keep it rolling. Let's check a 15-second instant replay. Caution's out, as a matter of fact. And Krim gets in the wall, but it looks like Jonathan Leisure brings out your yellow, and he was all alone by the time of incident. And 23 into this event, Leisure looks like he had an issue. No, he did not. So Connor Asbell, all good, but it looks like that Daniel Krim incident brings out the yellow because he spins it once again, and that's your caution. He comes right back up onto the track, 24 out of 150, and it looks like one driver going to be able to barely slide in. Your leader got collected. And Sean Rowe, who is your race leader at the time of the incident, gets involved with a lap car. Let's take a quick look once again and find out what just happened. And Rowe is a championship contender coming into the night, 3rd in points. One and only faster pair. He's going to have to take it early. And checking on board with Sean Rowe once more. And you see Rowe coming into the frame where Daniel Krim was. Krim going to be still there. And then he backs it down. He gets on the gas. That's going to be evidently a penalty because Krim did not keep the brakes locked. Now, Kenny Real came into the chat last night. Not sure if he's watching. He does not appear to be in this race. He is a regular in this series. But Real did come in saying that some people don't lock their brakes. Now, I tell you what, Daniel Krim did not lock the brakes there, and he might just be one of the people responsible for that wreck. And he is now parked on the track. I do believe that's going to be good night for the number 71 and not a good night to remember. Matthew Brower is now back out in front. Patience pivotal. He's taken his fast up here already, but he absolutely has some damage. Unbelievable circumstances, and the driver of the number 73 with Joseph Lewis scored in second is now a 1-2 tandem that we were not expecting. Lewis in his season debut is now up there in runner-up spot. How about it for the man in that number 82? Use promo code. It looks like Lewis 6 or Lewis 82 will get a better shot of it. It's sponsored by W Energy, looking to take the dub for the organization, sponsoring so many up-and-coming racing drivers. And it's going to be the Lewis machine there with the 1826 behind his code. So it's going to be use promo Lewis 1826 if you want a promotion and a discount on W Energy, as now it's going to be Hunter Bogdan taking a lap with Cash Culp here, and they're going to be culpable to get that lap on their own time, and I'm certain the driver's going to get a bit distressed at what just happened. Daniel Krim is going to say goodnight. I believe he's already down on pit road. That's going to be a big penalty, if anything, as Sean Rowe has taken his fast repair as well. And we'd love to get a word with him, but unfortunately, at the moment, that we cannot. And I'm sure he'd have a lot to say at the post-race, so we'll try to get him in. Hopefully, he'll be able to rebound for a good finish, as now Cash Culp goes by with Hunter Bogdan once again. 27 laps in, out of 150. And holding on strong, Matthew Brower is going to be able to do so with Joseph Lewis and Hunter Whitlock there as well. And Max Molina rounds out your top 5, 27 laps in, out of a total of 150. So with all this time in mind, it might just be all about consistency rather than constant aggression. We've already seen aggression take some guys out. I'm certain that Sean Rowe was not the man responsible for that incident, but he backed it down instead of waiting on that caution, because it looked like the caution did not come out at that point. Might have been in a safer scenario. So it's going to be all about your patience being in mind, your time being used responsibly and resourcefully, as we will get it going for the third restart of the night. As a matter of fact, the third start and the second restart, as we get things going with only about 12 laps remaining in the stage, as we get it going once more. Lap 40 of the stage break. Let's get into it here in Bristol, baby. Going to be a restart number 2 of the night. Let's go racing for the NASCAR Coliseum. Side by side with the race lead, Sean Rowe going to be able to get it over the driver of the 73 machine, Matthew Brower, and he's not afraid at all to go back running there. And Sean Rowe out in front once more. One fast repair already used for the driver of the number 96 machine, no, the 99 machine, as James Thurston now going to be up there with the Travis Kroenberg machine. Wyatt Stevens going to spin. Looks like a one-car incident. No caution going to be thrown as a result of that wreck, and it's going to be a small one as everyone's able to keep it collected. 30 laps in, we'll check in once again, and you can see Wyatt Stevens involved with Travis Kroenberg in this battle here. 31 in out of a total of 150. Michael Dychett Scorley going to be able to back it in and back it out of the pack. And as these guys come through once more, it looks like Stevens going to get a bit squirrely as a result. Michael Dyche going to be down and around. Sean Conklin going to tag Wyatt Stevens and unbelievably able to overcorrect it, but not into the other drivers. Conklin gets a hit. And now everyone's going to be able to keep it going. Nonetheless, Sean Rowe leads by about 0.2 of a second as Max Molina goes out of the inside line, and it looks like his teammate going to try to pull him through there. That he will not do, and still they ride single file high side. Aiden Walker going to be in 4th. Hunter Whitlock locking himself in a 5th as Travis Kroenberg, a Bristol winner in the IORA Cup Series on Thursday nights, looking to go here on the Wednesday nights and take the W. Side by side with the 35 for just a moment, lunges into the inside line once again. Whitlock holding it down, but not going to be enough for now. As now, side by side, Kroenberg has the edge in momentum, backing it into the turns just a bit later. He's going to take James Thurston right there with him. But Molina and Rowe have the points edge in tonight's showcase so far. If, of course, Sean Rowe is able to hold on from here on out on one car, he might be able to come up with a podium, if not a win. And Max Molina has not taken that fast repair. He's going to be much safer as Connor Asbell pulls out of the inside line and lets their leaders go. Brower going to be able to get in the wall there. He's going to be able to save it, though. And now going to be falling down to 4th once again. Big time moment for the driver of the number 73 machine, and Brower getting tossed around by playoff drivers like it is nothing. Aiden Walker first gets into him, and now it looks like Molina might have been able to run up the track. We'll check an instant replay on the matter. The 73 Tavares starts the machine. Looks like that's going to be a mistake on his end, but he's going to be able to cover it nice and smooth, as it's the turn where it happens with the 45 and the 73. The quarter panel tapped him, and Brower now going to be down into 6th, as Sean Rowe is in 4th. 39 laps in to this event. It's going to be Rowe up front now. Max Molina in 2nd, and Aiden Walker in 3rd. Travis Kroenberg in 4th, and James Thurston rounds out your top 5. Matthew Brower going to be position number 6. Ross Corlett in 7th. Sean Conklin's 8th, and Joseph Lewis going to be there in 9th spot. Dustin Pickle now going to be in 11th, as Joseph Lewis falls down to the 10th position, and Sean Conklin gets by in 9th, and coming down the line this time by for the stage win. Sean Rowe going to be able to get it, and that will bring out a yellow here, your stage winner. It's going to be the driver of that number 99 machine. Sean Rowe comes home with a stage win, and that's going to be 3rd yellow on the night. Sean Rowe out on top for a moment there, and it looks like that moment will persist. It is Rowe up in front, Max Molina there in 2nd, as Rowe going to blink out immediately thereafter for just a moment, and Max Molina still going to be there on the track, so that looks to be an individual incident. As you can see, drivers are barreling in and out of turn after turn, so 42 in out of 150. We'll try to get a word with the drivers to come all on to pit road, this time by James Thurston, choosing to stay out for some stage 2 bonus points, and we will get a word with the man in the number 96 machine immediately. And it looks like the time is now to talk to James Thurston in the 96. Thurston rounding out the podium so far. Race has gone your way just enough to get back into the top 3. How's it feeling in the first race for the round of 7?
It's been loose. I thought I was going to be doing a lot better than this earlier, but the thing is, just on that first run, it was just loose. Well, it was tight in, loose out, just not really driving that good anywhere, but yeah, haven't been on all day, so the first laps I ran was qualifying. Just doing the best I can right now. I think hopefully we'll just be able to sit on these, a few lap old tires right now and just save the sets for later and have a shot at it.
And saving sets for later seems to be the name of the game for you, Aiden Walker and Travis Kroenberg. Saving might be the way to pave a chance at greatness. Round of 7, first race, so how aggressive are you going to get as it goes on?
I don't know how aggressive I'll be in this run, because I'm just going to have to try to make the tires last. They're not that old, so shouldn't be too difficult. I don't know where the next stage end is, but we should be okay.
And that you hope to be. Now we have just a bit of time, so any final thoughts before the race gets on its way?
I don't know, just hope you guys can have a great viewing experience of the end of this thing. It's been pretty crazy so far.
And that it has been. James Thurston going to be 3rd on the board here in the FORL Cup Series. Beckman Designs 79.5. A great run for the opening round of the final, opening race of the final round here in the playoffs. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
There we have it. Well, of course, the final full round before the championship race is going to be in 2 weeks' time. 46 now laps out of 150 next time through. And James Thurston, one of those contenders week in, week out. Aiden Walker, the top man on the board, as they come down to the stripe this time by 1 lap to green. And it's going to be held off by who else but Aiden Walker in the 93. It's going to be that Travis Kroenberg in 2nd. And finally, rounding at your top 3, James Thurston in 3rd, and there you have it. Going to be all about what is in store from the strategy department, and a few guys going to stay out to make sure they have tires later on. A few guys going to be running short, and it looks like a majority of the field going to run short, because the plan for them is just going to be all about the bonus points. Now looks like the caution going to be extended one more time, and that will not be any longer. Now is the time to get it rolling in Bristol, the last great coliseum. Stage number 2, next stage going to be at lap number 90. We've already gotten 46 laps into this one, so going to be a very quick run until our next stage, the second of which, and it's going to be the man in that number 93 leading the way in. We saw him get very aggressive there with Matthew Brower earlier on. He was with Travis Kroenberg as well in 2nd, and James Thurston was in 3rd. Alina number 4 with Sean Rowe in 5th. And then it was Brower and Conklin. And Hunter Whitlock now going to be with the Cash Cope machine, a debutant in this series, looking to make a name for himself. But now it's Aiden Walker making a name as the leader of this restart. Green flags out in stage 2. And one lap into our stage, Aiden Walker able to lead it decisively over Travis Kroenberg. And third place was James Thurston. Max Molina in fourth. Matthew Brower going to be position number 5. And Sean Rowe in sixth spot. Going to be fighting with Sean Conklin there. The Sean and Sean battle, we've seen it week in, week out. We saw it at Watkins Glen most recently. And now it's going to be all about these two fighting as Hunter Whitlock going to be watching this battle on board. Take a look with the number 35 machine as we run aboard for a lap. You can see going up to the high side. And right there, Conklin going to get a bit squirrely, but Whitlock going to be a very, very loose machine there. Going to lose a bit of time, go down to the middle groove. Not the best line. He was chasing them all the high side, but now the leaders, except for one, go down low, and that's going to be Matthew Brower staying high as we watch him staying alive in position number 4. Only down to his final car here. One faster pair already used. And you can see that 51 out of 150 is going to be Max Molina right behind him, but not going to be able to make up any ground. That's 52 now going to be the distance. And Sean Rowe there with Whitlock locking himself in. Cash Cope going to be there in 9th. Brandon Redford in 10th. Joseph Lewis 11th. And Michael Deitch going to be now side by side with the Ross Corlett machine. And Corlett running a, of course, beautiful scheme as always for the CCH Motorsports camp. As Michael Deitch gets by him, the battle between drivers and manufacturers is prevalent in this championship hunt. As Deitch now is chasing in on a Ford. That's going to be Joseph Lewis's Ford, and he's getting closer and closer every time by. Drivers rounding up to the high side there, as it seems like the momentum is going to be better than the distance. As the night goes on, it's just about a full night sky, as Kroenberg, near new race leader, now it's going to be Aiden Walker fighting with Matthew Brower, as James Thurston in position number 2, still fighting to get right back up with the Kroenberg machine. It's Ford on Ford with a Chevy right behind him. 55 out of 150. Down to the inside line, it's going to be Aiden Walker going in on James Thurston here. Thurston is a championship driver, and the two drivers are right in the middle of this sandwich. Well, they are not. So it looks like the top and bottom of the sandwich, as a matter of fact, get the middle crowded up, and Thurston going to have to run in second, as his closest competition going to be Sean Conklin now. Molina down to 7th, and Sean Rowe in 8th, as Hunter Whitlock having the race of his life now, going to be able to get himself up to 6th over his teammates in the PBR camp, as Sean Conklin in front of the 3, which Thurston gets into the wall there. It's going to be a big wreck. Aiden Walker goes around. That's going to be your caution, as Walker going to get involved with Matthew Brower. That might be the night for the number. Oh, it's going to get much worse. And now it looks like it's going to be Brandon Redford involved. Michael Deitch there as well. Looks like it's going to be Connor Asbell. Then Wyatt Stevens. Hunter Bogdan sends it in, and we will have to get a full replay of the wreck at hand, as it began with Aiden Walker. And Walker there in tow with Matthew Brower, James Thurston there as well, and going up to the high side. 59 laps in out of 150. Drivers there were pushing as hard as they could, and you could see that the 96 with the 73 of Brower goes as Aiden Walker slams the wall there, and the 213 Simware machine gonna have some wear and tear. This is the first part of the wreck. This is the second. It's gonna involve Michael Deitch, and it looks like when Michael came into it, you can see he's gonna be able to get by for now. Then he hits Matthew Brower, and this is when it gets much worse. Michael Deitch gets involved in it huge, and then the 82 machine goes around Joseph Lewis there with the 28 machine, and I believe that's going to be Jonathan Leisure. Hammer goes up the high side. Wyatt Stevens there as well. John Smith sends it in, and Hunter Bogdan does as well. As we look in his rear view camera, another hit for him as Asbell gets the worst of it. And 60 laps in out of 150, a major wreck. About 10 laps in to our stage. Now, more like 20 laps in, as we are filed up once again, ready to dial it up here in the FORL Cup Series. It has been a hectic race at Bristol. Like most others at this track, this half-mile short track always proves to stand the test of time and bring us great racing whenever we go there. As the drivers pace around once again, we are getting ready to go battle in at most 2 laps time. We will see whether or not we do. And now is going to be the iRacing official pace car making the decision to stay out for now 2 more laps. James Thurston goes in that time by 4 tires here, and he might be able to go all the way from here on out. Tire wear has not been detrimental just yet. And we will see if Travis Kroenberg and the like in front will be affected. But right now, he's been able to hold on with the oldest tire set on the circuit, short of Hunter Bogdan. And Bogdan looks to be in some trouble. One faster pair in it, caught up in a few wrecks, able to avoid the last one. That would have been game over. He was caught up in it, but still far back in the pack. And 150 laps in, Bogdan's going to have to turn up the jets and hunt down a better finish. Hunter will. He wants to make anything out of this late season surge that he hopes to have. 1 lap to green, this time by Sean Conklin. Goes out of the inside line on Travis Kroenberg. Hunter Whitlock there with Max Molina and Sean Rowe get right beside Cash Cope. And Cope going to be able to get up right outside the top 5 for the first time in his run in this series. So whether or not he will be able to make the run of his life, we will see. It all remains to be found as we get it going. This time by, once again, led by the iRacing official pace car, Aiden Walker blazes by. And it's going to be Conklin there with who else but the driver of Travis Kroenberg. A winner beforehand, and a minute will be what Mike decided as we have 4 laps in the minute. If he's able to pull away in that first minute, he's going to be golden as we get it going this time by lap 63 of 150. We're green once again in Bristol. And there we have it, the 69 machine right there as a caution's out already. Going to be involving Jonathan Leisure, Hunter Bogdan, and Michael Deitch as they almost hit the number 28 machine on the way there. Leisure got involved first, but we will check back all the way as it looks like the 57 machine has John Smith right behind him. And as they get into it, it already seems like they weren't able to get into it proper. And this is when it all gets a bit feisty. Now it's going to be up on the high side, Deitch, and they come up. It's going to be Deitch who gets squirrely, then hits Bogdan, and then almost collects John Smith. And nobody else going to be thankfully collected as Jonathan Leisure just loses a lot of time on his own and almost gets collected there, but able to make it in nice and steady. 64 laps in, a few drivers coming to pit road, but Travis Kroenberg is your race leader. 65 in at a total of 150. There you have it. And it's going to be Kroenberg with Conklin, Molina there as well. And in tow, going to be Sean Rowe in that 4th spot. So keep an eye out on every driver in this top 5. They all have a great shot. Get it done. As it looks like now Cash Culp in the 6th spot for the first time. He is racing in this series. And how we get to work with our debut in the old 57 machine of Cash Culp. Trying to make a name for himself here and not doing a half bad job of it. Cash Culp, first time here at Bristol in the FORL Cup Series. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. My Cash Club Racing number $57 sign. I didn't expect to be here, to be honest, but you know, my driver Connor Espo on the 72A, he's doing pretty good, so I'm really proud of him. So you know, I'm just here to have some fun. I didn't expect to be up here, but I'm really grateful I'm here.
And some pretty good team affairs going on for your camp right now. You left a message in the chat there about the 72A, so it looks like you guys doing good so far. What's the game plan from here on out?
Survive.
Putting it brief there, looks like a lot of drivers focused on that. You've used 1 fast repair so far. Granted, most of the field has, so when it's all done and done, we might see a race of attrition. You think you'll be able to survive the incidents?
If my balls are big enough, I can get up there pretty easily. But I just have to trust myself and everyone around me that you're not going to choke and win and spin out like I did earlier. So I'm just here to have some fun. Hopefully there's no more cracks.
And of course, hoping to not get as many wrecks in as before. So it looks like still not 1 to green this time by. Anything else you'd like to add before we drag you back to your voice chat?
Good luck to Connor Asbell. I'm proud of you, buddy. And thank you to all my sponsors already. Let's go green, boys. Thank you for your time.
And we're ready to get back to the green. Thank you for your time, Cash Culp.
Yes, sir.
Cash Culp going to be on his way here in Bristol, 67 laps in, out of a total of 150, and it's going to be Sean Conklin, David Kroenberg as we get it back underway. This time through the iRacing official pace car, leads him down and in. Let's get back at it. 67 out of 150, the green flag is out, led by Kroenberg once more to lap 68. And down the back straight where the battle is going to be between the 54 and the 69, and leading into lap number 69. A nice run there. The power's on, and it's going to be Sean Conklin getting up to 69 as the 69 machine is down to the inside of him. So side by side now, Kroenberg falling back. As soon as his number is hitting the lap tally, it seems like things are going astray as Sean Conklin will be able to make it through, and Sean Rowe going to be able to pick up the scraps as well and bring almost Max Molina. Now Molina on the high side going to have to do battle alone. His teammate going to to get out in front as they're going to door bank for the first time. Molina does with Kroenberg, and Kroenberg is just here to win, and he knows that for sure. As he gets a bit squirrely there, going to be able to let the number 45 machine by. 71 laps in on a total of 150 here. The edge going to be able to go to the man out in front, of course, Conklin and Rose. A Sean and Sean battle once again, and as it persists, it's an age-old classic here in the FORL Cup Series as they barrel into the inside line together like it is nothing. Conjoined almost there, 72 laps out of 150, and they're going to be side by side if a move is placed, but so far running steady, waiting for the laps to tick down. Yeah, but Sean Conklin right there in front of Sean Rowe, going to be able to learn from the drivers right in front of him. And with all this experience and know-how in front in the form of Sean Conklin, Sean Rowe going to be able to take it in and see how a driver more accustomed to short track racing in the next gens does it. Conklin, one of those drivers still contending for the championship hunt in the IORA Cup Series, is out here as well, making it happen. It looks like that's the end goal for the Conklin machine as they barrel into the turns time after time. Very similar performance, lap after lap, cautions out. Going to make it even more similar as Michael Deitch there with Brandon Redford. The yellow flag flies once more, and we will find out just why that is the case. Going to send it back 2 laps in and find out why that happened. And looks like Whitlock going to get squirrely there. He might be the cause of this one. We'll get a bit of a wider angle to find out if it was him or if it was another driver in this mix. Might have been John Smith, and that it was. Smith gets in the wall and comes right back up, hits the 82, hits the 35, and then Bryce Hamrick hits, and so does Jonathan Leisure. Michael Deitch there as well. And 76 laps in, Deitch going to be able to get through, but it looks like John Smith cannonballing up, and he is parked. Maybe for the night, it might just be done and done for incident reasons, and that it is not either. John Smith back on the way, so it looks like going to be able to avoid a very, very dicey situation. The 48 back on the move like it's nothing. 77 laps in out of a total of 150. John Smith back on track, and it looks like now it's going to be a new retiree in Connor Asbell as Joseph Lewis comes to pit road. It's a dire situation as Jonathan Leisure in a dire situation as well. Sean Conklin, the 54, out in front with Rowe in second. Max Molina in third, and then Travis Kroenberg in fourth with the Cash Colt machine, position number 5. Ross Corlett going to be 6th spot, and Wyatt Stevens in 7th. Dustin Pickle there in 8th, and you can see that every driver is getting prepared once again, putting themselves in the mindset to race it, as we're going to have less than a 15-lap dash in the stage now, and that's a result of a few yellows coming out in a succession here. So with that being said, it seems like with 78 as the total on the board, Sean Conklin going to have to do what he can do best and lead this one. He wants any opportunity at the second stage win. Some drivers are going to be playing it for the long game. Joseph Lewis came in that time by for tires. So did Jonathan Leisure. Leisure going to be on his way in the number 28 machine. Hunter Bogdan there as well. Bryce Hamrick in the mix. And you can see with the Conklin 54 out in front. Sean Rowe, runner-up so far, as Travis Kroenberg in the mix. So we've seen a competitive group of drivers. I'd say about the top 5, top 6 are in really close contention to get it done. And with that being said, it's all about how they do it and when they do it, because execution is critical in a race such as this. Playoff contention, it is very valuable to these drivers, and playoff implications. Any incident, any change of pace, change of tone could be the reason that one person fails and one person succeeds. So keeping that in mind is crucial. As 79 laps in out of 150, more than halfway through we are now, and 79.5 miles that we will see in tonight's showcase. We gotten through just about 40 of which, so we have about 39.5 remaining, very close to the halfway mark. We've just gotten by it, and this will mean the show from here on out going to be the second half. 72 laps remaining as we get it back on our way in Bristol. The iRacing official pace car dive in that time by Let's Go Racing, led by Conklin. High side, a big push from Travis Kroenberg. Sandro goes out of the inside line. They're going to be able to keep fighting. As they come down to the backstretch, Cash Cope going to turn in. Multiple car incident in the back of the field. That's going to be yellow flag, surely. And that it is. John Smith there. But I do believe it was Cash Cope down and around that caused this one. And we will take a 15-second look back. Looking back a lap. Looks like Redford went around with Michael Deitch. But then Cash Cope gets involved with James Thurston. And Thurston's night might just be done. As a result, he has one faster pair. He might have to use it now. As Aiden Walker gets up into the wall as well. Michael Deitch going to be able to get away from it. So does Bryce Hamrick. And everyone gets shuffled once again. The first drivers from the first incident now going to be able to get away better than those from the latter. So going to be a bit of a saving grace for some drivers. Going to be a bit of a divisive maneuver for others. It's 82 in. So close to our second stage's conclusion. 69 laps to go, and a nice run for Sean Rowe to be your race leader there. Looks like Travis Kroenberg going to be scored in the third spot as we get it on our way. 69 going to become 68 to go this time by as the iRacing official pace car leads them down and in once again. The race has become a bit closer to a pacing parade as it's now going to be Cash Cope out of this event. Jonathan Leger back out on track, 2 laps down. Hunter Bogdan 3 down, and Joseph Lewis 7 laps down. So going to be a lot of guys coming to pit road for some crucial damage repair. James Thurston there in frame, but it is Sean Rowe with the advantage so far out in front with now 68 remaining as Cash Cope passes by your frame, and you can see there he is evidently waiting to get back on a roll. He certainly has something for these drivers. Whether or not he's going to be able to use it, we will find out. 68 laps remaining. That's going to be the distance here as Max Molina's in second. Ross Corlett is in third and Travis Kroenberg's in fourth as it's now going to be closer to the second stage's conclusion. 83 in out of 90 in your second stage run. So the conclusion of lap 90 going to bring us down to the remainder of this event just under 90. Now going to be just under 60 laps with that third stage in procession. But you got to get there before you count it. That's always how it's done here in NASCAR, whether it is going to be physical or virtual. And here in the virtual NASCAR scene, not much is different when it comes to the rules. Except one thing that is different, if you want to join the Fireball Talks NASCAR Discord community, it is open to anyone. And we'd love to have you there. If you want to pitch in, got any ideas, any series that you would recommend to us, and a perspective, let us know. Community of iRacing, because we come... Of course, a test of this. We plan to grow, and we plan to grow quick, so thank you all for stopping by and giving us your time on a Wednesday night. We hope that you are enjoying your show here live on FDN, the preferred way to spend Wednesday nights with the FORL Cup Series as they are winding down their championship race with 3 races, including this one, and 2 races to go after this one. Once again, be sure to scan the QR code on your screen or join the Discord link in the description, the official Fireball Talks NASCAR server, as we get ready to go this time by double file. We are, and it's going to be led off by the Sean Rowe machine there with Max Molina and Ross Corlett going to be there with Sean Conklin. Now it's going to be Travis Kroenberg as Conklin falls way back in the later segment of the field, and it looks like Sean Conklin going to be position number 9 as we only have a total now of only about 13 drivers on the lead lap, last of which is James Thurston. So as drivers begin to file out of this event, more and more do points begin to stack up for those who would stay and stand the test of time. 86 laps in we will be when we get the stage back on its way. The final dash to stage number 3. Let's go racing, once again led by Sean Rowe. And a profound start there for the driver of the number 99 machine. Nobody able to keep up with him there. Back of the pack to be able to keep it clean. Cash Cope there with Hunter Bogdan. Middle of the pack to be fair as well. James Thurston trying to get by it as now we have a 2-car spin. Hammer gets involved. Corlett can involve itself as well. And the yellow flag is out. That might just be your stage break. And in the case it is, I believe your stage winner has been officially declared. We'll check in on that in just a moment as Hunter Bogdan there with, it looks like, Dustin Pickle, and by this point Hamrick involved with Brandon Redford. Aiden Walker almost gets through. Cash Cope going to be able to get on by, and Jonathan Leger down the inside line. It's going to be Dustin Pickle involved, and he looked to be one of the catalysts for this wreck. Let's check on why. And side by side he is with the number 47 machine, and Brandon Redford hooks him down the track, and that's going to end your second stage with a bang. So how about it? As the yellow flag is out, Sean Rowe leads him with Max Molina in second, Ross Corlett in third, Wyatt Stevens fourth, and Hunter Whitlock in fifth spot. It looks like coming down to the stripe this time by Sean Rowe is your second stage winner, and it goes to the driver of the number 99. So there you have it. The green and checkered is out under yellow, and it's Sean Rowe who holds on strong to get stage win number 2 on the night. How about that for the driver of the number 99 machine? Certainly that's what he wants as we get this thing going once again, and it is what He gets bonus points in the championship run as tense and as tight as this one. Great to see and great to have the thorough competition every night. Now, the driver of the number 9 machine going to be able to hold on, and we will try and get a word with another driver, see who is available, and it looks like one of the drivers who is available is the driver of that number 93, James Thurston, there as well. And I do believe we got to talk with James Thurston beforehand. The one driver we will try to pull in as we have a bit of time with the man currently now in position. Have a good top 10 run. And how about Aiden Walker in the number 93 machine so far in the 10th spot? We'll try to get a talk with the man in that 93 213 Simware machine. And he's been having a great ride. That sleeve, you call it one, he's wearing it quite nicely. It fits him, that car. And it looks like we'll be able to get a talk with him right now. Aiden Walker, 10th of the board so far here in Bristol. And the third stage will be underway as we get it back on our way. How you feeling?
Hey, what?
Third stage going to be starting very soon, so how you feeling?
Right now it's I have a worry because I have to stay out on the set of tires because I took a set when me and Durson got in that wreck, so yeah, it's gonna be a struggle.
It looks like tires are going to be a name of the game with this very short run to finish this race off. Now 60 laps to go, and those laps will fly quite quickly here. So going to be all about managing your position now. Going to be in fourth. So what's the game plan to keep you up front?
Probably just don't lose too many positions and then just try to keep as many positions as possible so that when I take that final set of tires, I can at least get back up front. So
that seems to be the way to go when it comes to tire strategy. Now 60 to go, going to become less than that this time through. So as we come down to what looks to be one lap to green, any final thoughts?
Right now, weird. Right now, I'm just trying to, me personally, I don't like the stage thing, so that's something I kind of just don't like right now. So.
And there we have it, Aiden Walker nonetheless up in front to start the final stage. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Drag him right back in. Walker going to be on his way, and looks like we dragged ourselves in there. And there we go, Aiden Walker to be on the move as we get it going. This time by 59 laps to go. Let's go racing once again, led by Sean Conklin, and it's going to be the 54 with a commanding start. And with Sean Conklin getting out in front, going to be a big wreck with Hunter Bogdan involved. Nobody else going to get caught up in it. It looks like that's the case. Leisure going to be there, but Hunter Bogdan going down and around does not stop their racing at all. Aiden Walker going to get very, very slow in front of the 86, and Bogdan going to get right into the mind of the field. Thankfully, he goes out of the inside and hits nobody, but that might be his race there, already using his one fast repair. The 86 has been in trouble all night long, and it looks like tonight is going to be, of course, no different to the last few nights, as it has been trouble to keep the car on the road. Here goes down to the inside line on the Jonathan Leisure machine beforehand. Now going to be fighting with the 82, and it looks like it's just going to be a battle between drivers far out of the winning contention. It's now a half a second led by Sean Conklin. Ross Corlett is in second, and now going to be Cash Cope there in third. All of your top 5 drivers have taken their fast repair already, and if they get involved with one more wreck majorly, they will be out of this race without much more to speak of. It will be done and done without much happening. It's going to be just like that. Bogdan down to the inside line, and Sean Rowe right there with Travis Kroenberg. That's 54 laps to do it here. The 69 machine going to be able to defend those lanes effectively, riding aboard with the number 69 as we speak. And Travis Kroenberg there is going to be able to block the high side on the straights. And without much momentum on the inside line, Sean Rowe getting blocked effectively by the air. 52 laps to do it here. And now Molina goes out of the inside line, trying to make a pass here for the 4th spot. Kroenberg able to clear him that time through. Not going to be much challenge just yet. And Molina holds on strong in the 5th position. How about that with Max Molina still there in the top 5. He's had a great run for the championship front. But Sean Conklin looks to be the best man as Kroenberg's going to flick up the track, get involved with the 45 machine, and spin around. That's going to be definitely a caution. And lap 100, not without incident, instant replay on the matter. And Travis Kroenberg gets involved with the driver of the 45, and he flicks it right up into 2 championship contenders at once. And that is going to be big time frustration for Molina and Kroenberg. And the yellow flag is out with 50 laps remaining. Kroenberg and Molina involved. And this one's going to be one that might just decide the championship for, as Molina going to lose an awful lot of time, an awful lot of points if this is any detrimental damage that it does not appear to be just yet. So he's going to be able to keep it nice and smooth. But the 45 is absolutely going to be upset about this one. And with that being said, back on his way, Max Molina is currently in 10th with Sean Conklin there in first. And it's going to be now less than 50 laps remaining here in Bristol. And the action has gotten much more intense, contact getting more frequent, and drivers getting much less patient. So with that being said, it's going to be all about how these guys moderate themselves as the race goes on. With very little time remaining and very little time to make moves, it looks like guys are already getting a bit more worried about making something happen. And if they can't make something happen now, they seem to be worried that they won't be able to get anything done as the night goes on. With that being said, 48 to go. Conklin leads over the driver of the number 91 machine in Ross Corlett. Cash Cope there in third. Hunter Whitlock going to be in fourth. And James Thurston, position number 5. Bryce Hammer going to be in 6th. And Dustin Pickle in 7th. As Wyatt Stevens is in 8th. And Benjamin Walker, according to timing scoring, that's Aiden Walker, going to be in 9th. And Travis Kroenberg rounds out your top 10 here. With 103 laps in, only a total of 13 drivers on the lead lap now, as Hunter Bogdan came down on pit road, going to be able to get his lap back as we speak. So he's going to be good to get back with the leaders here, but he's still pretty far off as we go one lap to green. It appears next time by, if the admins choose not to shorten it, which they could. But so far, they have not coming down the back straight with Hunter Bogdan going to be able to pass, as well as the number. It looks like 82 machine. And with 2 retirees out of the event, including John Smith and Connor Asbell, your newest. We now have 1 lap until we get the race back on its way. It's going to be the 47 lap to go mark that we are at. And Ross Corlett on the inside with Sean Conklin, your race leader. Let's get back into the end this time by. Now with the iRacing official pace car leading them all in, it's going to be the 54 machine out in front with 46 laps to go. Let's go racing. And it's going to be Sean Conklin with a great job. It's going to be one driver going way to the inside. That's Ross Corlett. Going to be able to get back on the track, but not much issue. Does not make contact with Cash Kolb. Going to be 3 wide there. It's going to be Dustin Pickle with Brandon Redford again. We saw them getting into it before, but they're going to be able to save it. And 45 laps to go. No retaliation and no revenge. Nice smooth. They're playing it fair as we still have a lot of time for things to get settled. So drivers are beginning to play it a bit cooler. One driver going to spin. That's going to be Travis Kroenberg once again into the wall. Single car. Nobody else involved for now. Bogdan hits him. That's going to be a caution. And once again, with 44 to go, a yellow comes out. We will take a look with a close-up camera to see just what happened. Checking on the closer drone camera, you can see the 69 just flicks it up high. Not going to be able to keep control of that one. And then he goes back down, hits the Redford machine, and then involves himself with Hunter Bogdan and gets slammed all over and then puts it back in the gear. But once again, damage after a great run. That might be it for Travis Kroenberg machine. He's still on the track and still scored in the 5th position, but he's going to come out of the pit road this time by, and that could be good night, and that it is if he can get a pit road, but it looks like still going to be able to go for service. The driver of the 69 machine is. So Sean Conklin going to be on his way as Kroenberg just comes into his pit stall, and Hunter Bogdan back there as well. Now 12 drivers are going to be safe on that lead lap with 42 laps remaining. Race of attrition, this one surely has been. And with the number 54 machine still far out in front, nobody able to keep with them just yet. Hunter Whitlock now is in 2nd. And Whitlock having a race to remember as he looks to have just enough pace to perhaps put himself in a great shot for a top 5 finish, as he's been up there for quite a while, but now looking to put them all together. Joaquin Stewart, your race control, still looking over the race as we speak at 41 remaining. It's going to be the Beckman Designs 79.5, led by Sean Conklin with Hunter Whitlock there in 2nd, and James Thurston locking himself into a great performance on the podium so far. We'll see how long he can stick to it. seems like it's been all about how James Thurston performs in this championship hunt, the race of his life. Watkins Glen International last week able to come home with a nail-biting finish at the tail end of it. Sean Rowe almost got down on his inside. He chose better to wreck him, and he chose to let Thurston get the drag race off, and that's what decided it. So wow. When it comes down to the drivers to look out for, I think James Thurston might just be the one. Hatsune Miku, number 96 machine, and the Good Smile Racing machinery inspired by the international team with Hatsune Miku as a sponsor. Well, having a great run for Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports. And he's looking to put a smash of power into this track as one driver goes up high. They're getting a lap back, and you can see that the leaders are getting ready, getting perhaps a bit anxious. You know they want to race as much as we want to see a race here. And as we get back on our way, led by Conklin, well, it's going to be all about how it's done by the 54. Burning rubber all night long. His sponsor is Burnt Rubber, so fitting. Now he's going to be able to burn it down if he's able to keep himself in the lead. It's all possible as a new retiree on the night looks to be Michael Deitch. John Smith, 27 laps down. Joseph Lewis going to be 6 laps down. Brandon Redford going to be 2 down. Hunter Bogdan gets back on the lead lap once again. So still, Bogdan seems to be a cat with 9 lives here. Getting back out here as we now have 1 lap to green again. 39 remaining in Bristol. And the 35 machine on the inside line. John Smith going to pass the leaders as we still have a backstretch until we get back to it. And with 39 remaining, time is of the essence. We do about 4 laps a minute at race pace, and we haven't gotten much of that race pace just yet. Certainly will when we get back to it this time by. 39 to do it. Let's go back racing this time by. Going to be Sean Conlon and Hunter Whitlock locking themselves in. Green flags out once more. The Beckman Designs 79.5 back underway. And a powerful start from Sean Conklin. Once again, this man could do no wrong on those starts as James Thurston files himself into the inside line there. Going to be able to get into third. Now going to be fighting with Whitlock there for the second spot. Bryce Hamrick holding off as the highest position driver for CCH Motorsports. And up high, now Cash Cope goes. Travis Coinberg goes out on the inside line. And Coinberg becoming a bit wreck prone at the tail end of this race. Aiden Walker there as well. And Walker looking to survive on some older tires as now the leaders are pulling away with 36 laps remaining. Max Molina going to be in the mix, and you can see now it's going to be a clear lead for Sean Conklin once again. Molina goes high, and Sean Rowe goes low, and the teammate's going to try to split Bryce Hamrick, and that it looks like Max Molina is able to do to try to get himself up into fourth. But right now, not going to be any dice. He goes up high, and it's going to take Sean Rowe right there with him, and now it's going to be 35 remaining indeed for the drivers in that PBR camp. Max Molina leads them, and now it's going to be Max Molina chasing down James Thurston. Thurston has had a rivalry, so to speak, with the PBR guys all season long, not based on any incidents, but more or less based on performance. That's a group that's been up front all season long, and James Thurston carrying the flag for his own team. He's been up front all season long, so he does not want to see what you could consider as his rivals running as good as he is, if not just a bit better. And it's going to be all about whether or not he can keep himself in front of those drivers that he considers his adversaries on the circuit, as we now have just about 32 laps to go. Sean Conklin is pulling away here, riding on board with the man at number 54 machine. You can see 5th gear all the way. And no gear shifting, just a bit off the throttle and then a bit back on, pushing as hard as he can, getting as low as about 7,000 revs a minute, then getting it back up to about 8,500 off the back straightaway, gets it way high up to 8,700 that time by, and consistency, it is key. With 120 laps into this event, Sean Conklin was the most consistent of which on the circuit here, as 30 laps remaining, the man out in front has been challenged by nobody just yet, as the 54 goes right down and in, and you can see inside of his cockpit, he has a message that says, "Be calm, race hard," and it's going to be racing hard that gets him right into the top spot, and he is now staying calm, putting in consistent laps. His last lap, a 14.788, and as the track has gotten a bit cooler, it seems like he has gotten cooler when it comes to his mentality. Brandon Redford, the next man he's going to be able to lap, as he has now Hunter Bogdan right there as well. And now it looks like both of which get passed at the same time in the same vein. And Redford going to have to pick up the scraps and go down and in. Kroenberg now going to be on pit road as your leader passes by with 27 laps remaining. Brandon Redford sent up to the wall there, and James Thurston gets right by him. not the race that Redford wanted after a series of successful races, even at Watkins Glen, were the most driver-dependent races on skill. Redford able to run in the podium places, and now tonight it just seems like he got caught up in one too many incidents. Hunter Bogdan gonna get right into James Thurston. Thurston's able to save it, and now it's gonna be Hunter Bogdan getting in the way of those leading drivers. Bogdan goes up high, not going to give much more of a fight, and the 86 machine is evidently slow in front of your leaders. Goes up high once again, lets Whitlock and Molina by, and lets Aiden Walker there as well. But now the leaders interfering with the leading cars. Of course, they're going to be interfering on each other, but they're also getting involved with lap cars now, and that interference is going to be crucial to who's going to be able to make it out alive. 24 laps to go, and this is the drive that Sean Conlon wants to be remembered for. Pure dominance in this third stage. Nobody else adapting to the late night like he has. James Thurston still going to be there with Sean Rowe. And don't count either of these drivers out, but it just seems like they're not able to keep up with the man who's out in front with 23 laps remaining. There's 23 to go. You know what that means. It's going to be your TrackCams22.com. Crank it up. TrackCams22.com, the best cameras on iRacing. We truly do hope you enjoy their cameras as much as we enjoy using them. We will be right back uninterrupted on FTN. And with 15 laps to go here in Bristol, Conklin is the man on a mission. He is far out in front with 2 seconds over James Thurston, and Sean Rowe is going to be there in third, but nobody has made it close to Conklin, as Sean Rowe is going to be able to get up to second. How about this performance? And Sean Conklin last time by able to run a 15.3 flat. He's about 600th of a second faster than James Thurston. If you're tuning in for the first time, thank you for stopping by. Stay tuned. I'm your host for tonight's broadcast, David Kreutz. I truly do hope you enjoy tonight's presentation on the side of production and commentary. And it's been a one-man show up in front as well when it comes to the driver's standpoint, because Sean Conklin here at Bristol has been able to take the last great Coliseum by storm, and undeniably the burning rubber machine looking ready to burn rubber in about 11 laps time. He's way far out in front of the remainder of the pack right now, and nobody on his level as he's looking forward to set through a few more laps and get himself into victory lane. Aiden Walker now going to be right there with no battles to speak of. Hunter Whitlock is right there with Ross Corlett. Bogdan goes out on the inside line, does come back up on the track as Hunter did get some damage repaired. Whitlock goes way high there, and the 86 machine right there with him. No caution, no contact. Wyatt Stevens going to go way slow. We'll find out just what happened. It looks like he's been slow for quite a while now. 2 laps down, just trying to limp around the circuit, so has a bit of a power issue, it appears, as Sean Conklin going to catch up to the blinking driver of the number 57, or the 057, and he blinks right in front of your leader once again. Internet issues going to be happening for the driver of the 057 machine, and the leader going to be able to get right by it, as Cash Cope not going to be able to do much more about it. Cash Cope passed by your leader with 8 laps remaining, and Wyatt Stevens holds on there. It's going to be a slow ride for the driver of the 74. The Juggernaut seems to be a bit fought, and it looks like it's going to be a bit of a worn-out machine, as the battles have been tough for the 74. Sean Conklin comes up with another lap car, and now he has only a total of 10 drivers in the lead lap, and Jonathan Leisure looking to go 1 lap down, so it'll be 9 laps, or rather, 9 cars in the lead lap with less than 9 to go. Now 6 laps to go here in Bristol. Sean Rowe there in second, Max Molina in that third spot, and you can see now it's going to be no battle up in front just yet. Closest battle on the racing circuit appears to be between the drivers of, actually, this is the battle. It's going to be Aiden Walker and Ross Corlett, as it looks like it's going to now be James Thurston and Aiden Walker. Corlett falling back just a bit, and the 93 looking to gain in on the 96 with very little time remaining. This is the most important part of the race, and if you're watching for the first time tonight, be sure to leave a like on the channel and subscribe if you enjoy the action. This is what we're all about here on FTN. Wreck! 4 laps to go. This is going to bring out a caution, and this will bring out an overtime if they don't get it going. John Smith still parked on the track. Then it is 3 laps to go. We have an overtime. And I'm not sure what's going on here. This is absolutely unnecessary, as Wyatt Stevens still on the track with John Smith, and now they're blocking the whole track. And Smith gets disconnected, and he's going to hit Ross Corlett. And this is an unnecessary incident. Unbelievable. And that's something you don't want to see. We'll try to get a wider angle on it to show you the absolute magnitude here, as this is by the point the incident already began. And John Smith in the 48 machine gets ejected from the session, running up high on Wyatt Stevens, who had damage. Stevens goes up high, and John Smith right there with him. And the 48 machine dives it in. Stevens still there, and Wyatt Stevens gets to the wall, and it looks like then gets slow. John Smith does. Brandon Redford hits him, and they both slow down at once, and then Smith has Wyatt Stevens turn on him. And that's going to start it. So Stevens going to start it with the first incident. He's been ejected as well, mind you. And then they stay on the track. Sean Rowe almost hits him. That's when your top 2 guys. Thurston hits him. And the podium drivers get hit. This is overtime. And you can see Wyatt Stevens backs it down. John Smith does. And they hit Ross Corlett. And it looks like that's going to be the air from the 48 machine transferring the essence there. And that's something you wouldn't see in real life. Of course, it would actually be a contact there. As with 3 laps to go, your leader is Cash Cole. He comes out of the pit road that time by. Your leader is going to be Ross Corlett, and he is certainly not happy about what just happened. The transpiring incidents on the track have just gotten a bit more intense. Max Molina going to be your effective leader with 3 laps to go, and this something else. And since we do not have any driver to interview, and since we don't want to waste any time after the race to get advertisements in, we'll go to a brief Fireball Talks nonstop. You won't miss an inch or a second of the action. You'll still have the commercials on the small screen and the racing on the big screen. As a matter of fact, we'll be back before we go green flag. So stick with us, bear with us indeed, live on Fireball Talks NASCAR. We hope you enjoyed tonight's presentation. We'll be right back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across.
And it appears we don't have time for any advertisements. Let's get back to the action here and now. Overtime in Bristol, baby. Let's get it going here and now. Double file the field is Ross Corlett with Max Molina. Green flags out, a 2-lap dash to the finish. Corlett goes out on the inside line. He knows he has nothing for him. Molina and Sean Rowe out in front, and Molina now has a shot. Out on the high side, Molina gets way squirrely. Big time wreck. Bryce Hammer going to be able to get it up in the wall. Coming down to the white flag this time by cautions out. And we will have yet another overtime attempt. And look at that. 3 laps to go. Molina there, but Bryce Hamrick far from it. We will check just what happened. This is the restart in its entirety. And Hamrick going to see his teammate pull out, and they could have gotten to the white flag. They were seconds away from it, and the race gets extended just a bit more. And you can see Hamrick just gets in the Whitlock there, comes up the track with Aiden Walker, and that's going to be a race ender for perhaps the driver of the 47, the driver of the 93, and Bryce Hamrick as well. So Molina out in front. This could and it should be a shortened yellow flag period, and this is going to be it. I guess that's going to be the end for the advertisement here. We are going to keep it clear of everything, all the racing, all the action here and now. Nothing going to stop us as we get things going into the final segment of the race. It's going to be Max Molina in the first spot, Sean Rowe there in second, and sitting in that catbird seat, the driver of number 99 is, as it is also Sean Conklin in the podium as we kept this show on the road once again. A 45 has that thing on the high side if he wants to put it there, on the low side if he wants to put it there. The choice is his, and it soon looks like it will be the choice, well, perhaps yours as the viewers. If you guys have any predictions, be sure to make it happen in the chat room. We'd love to hear what you have to say. 3 laps remaining, and Sean Rowe is still right behind his teammate PBR 1-2 with Sean Conklin in third. And from there on out, the remainder of the field just gonna have to wait and see what can happen here. The PBR guys have been dominating from the moment that we got up to the first restart. This is the second restart now. Not a lot of time, but it's not about where you start, it's about where you finish. And that's gonna be the way these PBR guys drive. It looks like it's gonna be the strategy that might work out as the iRacing official pace car makes one last tour here and now. With 3 laps remaining, this will be the final time we see it, and it's going to be a total of now 159 laps on the board. That will be it. This could be, if we get back to the white flag, it will all be over with one more official lap. Checkers or wreckers. Brandon Redford going to get back out in there. It looks like it's going to be yet another extension of that flag period. Now going to be unextended as it's Molina with Rowe, James Thurston, Sean Conklin, 4 of your final 7 in the top 4. And how about that? Dustin Pickle, a contender as well. Ross Corlett right there with him. Sean Conklin, so it looks like almost every driver in the final 7 is still racing for the glory and for the guts. Let's go this time by the pace car, gonna dive off. Let's get it going once again. The 45 with a monster start. James Thurston goes with them. Green's out once again. And Molina looking to make it happen. 2 races out of 3. James Thurston goes down to the inside line. Not going to be able to make it happen that time by. And riding him over James Thurston down to the inside line. 1 lap to go. They're almost side by side there. This is the final 2 turns. Molina going to be up on that high side. James Thurston goes there with him. The final lap. Everything is official. Jonathan Leger down to the inside line. Molina going to see that James Thurston makes one big send. Not going to work. He goes wham to the wall. And Max Molina wins it all. The Beckman Designs 79.5 is his and only his. Max Molina wins the first race of the round of 7 and all but locks himself in to the championship race in Phoenix in 2 weeks' time. Molina, Mr. Excitement, once again comes in clutch. And Max Molina, the man with the plan, gets it done over his adversaries, such as James Thurston. And Thurston coming up to congratulate him on that one. Looks like he was able to get it done fair and square. No competition could deny him tonight as Molina comes in to get his burnout. And it's going to be all about Max Molina tonight here in the Beckman Designs 79.5, winning by 0.6 of a second over James Thurston in second. Sean Conklin in third, and Hunter Whitlock there in fourth. Sean Rowe get around to the top 5, a second back with Brandon Redford 6th, a nice recovery race, and Cash Colpin 7th as Ross Corlett finishes there in 8th. Ross Corlett is going to be in 8th with Joseph Lewis, the final driver in the lead lap, in 9th, and Dustin Pickle going to be in 10th. As from there, it's going to be Aiden Walker, Jonathan Leger, Bryce Hamrick, Travis Kroiberg, Hunter Bogdan, Michael Deitch, Matthew Brower, and in addition, the driver of the 7-2 machine in 18th, Connor Asbell. Daniel Krim, 136 laps down. Ethan Duelli, 149. As the final retirees goes as follows: Wyatt Stevens, John Smith disqualified, Zach Milano, and Joaquin Stewart, as Molina burns it down right in front of us, and he rightfully has every reason to celebrate. This one's going to lock him into the big race, the big show, and he's going to be there for the top 4, and he's already going to greet him in Phoenix. And how about it? A big moment for the driver of the number 45 machine. Now, we know that Max Molina is a major Kurt Busch fan. Every race that he goes into is a Kurt Busch throwback of some sort, or something a little different, something akin to it. Even one time a Jimmy Spencer throwback, since Spencer had a feud with Kurt Busch. And if you want to know where Kurt Busch's first win came in at, it was at Bristol with the very same paint scheme you see on Molina's car here and now. A throwback, and it looks like he will be looking forward as Kurt Busch, the success he's had at tracks where Kurt Busch has made his defining moments, it continues once again, and Molina going to be there for the taking. The driver of the 45 backs it into pit road, and he will be celebrating this one for quite a while. I am certain he'll have a lot to say to us as we get this thing rolling. The driver of the 45 comes home on top. It is Max Molina, and at the sight of Kurt Busch's first victory, this could be your most important victory this season. All but locking yourself into the round of 4. How are you feeling?
Oh, dude, I'm feeling so good. It's a lot of mixed emotions right now. First off, I just want to say, like, good race to all the top 4, like Sean, Conklin, and Rowe, and Thurston there. At the 2-tire call, came in clutch there. I just had to get track position, and that was it. And it was, as long as I was able to choose a high line, I didn't think Thurston had anything for me, even with 4 fresh tires, because you just get such a run off the corner. And once I knew it was like coming to the white, I don't think he was going to get by me, even if he did try dive bombing me there in the last corner. But but the last 2 days I've been under the weather. Today and yesterday I've been sick, and I don't know how I managed to build up the grit or something like that to race. I took like an ibuprofen before this race, and it actually helped out. Made me more conscious. So I guess shout out to the ibuprofen for helping me win this race or something. But man, this definitely helps out with my situation of being under the weather. But man, it was crazy getting the win at Bristol and the Kurt Busch throwback to when he won his first race in the spring of 2002. It was you couldn't have written it any better. Honestly, it was just it was an interesting race.
And quite the interesting one. It looks like that tire strategy is what gave you the edge on that restart there. And when the final 2 restarts came in, what was your mindset? Because it looked like it was frantic, even on that first one, getting a yellow.
Oh, dude, it was tough because on that first restart with when Ross stayed out, I knew I was just going to have to rip the top. And what I did is actually run a little bit lower. I ran the middle and off turn 2. I thought I wrecked the car. I was so far sideways. And it was so far sideways come off the corner. I didn't think I was going to save it, but I somehow did and kept the lead when they threw the caution. So I was like, that whole the whole second restart, I was just trying to like tell myself, don't do the same mistake that I did in that first restart and get loose off the corner as badly as I did there. So, as long as I was able to keep the top, I don't think anyone was going to get by me.
And the top side is what gave you the top spot here in Bristol. So Daytona is going to be up next, and you are going to be a great situation in the point standings as well. What's going to be going into our, I believe, final plate race of the season?
Yeah, man, there's a lot of question marks for bumpy Daytona with these cars. It's just don't even know how they're going to race there because they don't race there in real life. So whatever setup they give us, it's going to be a big wild card. You don't know who is going to be able to win. Maybe PBR is going to be able to link up for that race and just control the race like we did at Talladega for the most part, or just just help out teammates. Going to see it through different teams as well. Have other people block and work with their teammates to help them get to the front and get those stage points. And that's going to be a big factor. Teamwork is going to be at Daytona, but with how bumpy that track is and how no one really knows how these cars will react to the bumps, it's going to be a very interesting race. I don't know if it's going to be very spread out or a wreck fest or not, but it's I'm just going to go out there and try and race for another win, or just get just get good finish.
And looking for a good finish once again, Max Molina on top of the board here in Bristol. Any final thoughts? Anyone else you'd like to thank?
I want to thank just everyone at PBR, Brent Rubber Racing Warehouse, Built Bar, and even though it might not be on the car, Maverick Car Company, and so just everyone coming out watching the race too, and thank you for broadcasting and everything. It's cool to do these interviews after the races.
And absolutely nice to have you once again, Max Molina, coming home victorious here in Bristol. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much, buddy.
There we have it. It's going to be Molina on top and James Thurston coming home oh so close and able to squeak into the session at the last moment, but still coming home in the podium. So you're going to be in a great spot going into Daytona. What's the word after Bristol?
I don't know how I got second, but I did somehow. I tried to send it in there in the last corner, but the car was starting to, get around. And I didn't want to take myself family out. I didn't want to, only take myself out either. So that would have definitely been worst case scenario, and I just gathered it up, let the thing get tight, and just walked it to the wall and finished second. But yeah, car drove absolutely horrifically. Although I can't blame that on the league; they just run the defaults. But yeah, just pretty crazy race, lots and lots of cautions, and Kroenberg was he was interesting there, trying to do his best Chase Elliott 2021 fall race impression. Just holding second place back so his buddy could win the race, but obviously that didn't end up happening with all the cautions. So yeah, just second place after not practicing at all, and obviously I didn't run this race the same way I did last season, where I led like 95% of the race. I don't think I led a single lap this race, but second place is okay, I guess.
And still able to come up with the podium, which helps you, of course, in the championship standings, the round of 7, and our final race before that championship 4. Old Daytona, unpredictable. What's it going to take to come out on top there?
I don't know. I have to look at where I am in points. I would hope after this race I'm somewhere comfortable, but if I'm not, then it's just going to be whatever. Go for the win there. It's Old Daytona. These things are pretty fun there. Actually, I say they're pretty fun there. I don't know how they are with the new package. I haven't raced a SuperSpeedway race yet since the update with these things. So, yeah, I guess we'll just have to see how that goes. But, yeah, I've had some pretty good races there with these cars, and hopefully that'll be real fun and I can win it.
And of course, we hope to see yet another strong run as the 96 Cam comes up with yet another to perhaps put himself in position for that round of 4. James Thurston, any final thoughts?
Just thanks for the broadcast, and hopefully next week will be a little bit more smooth.
There we have it, James Thurston looking for a smooth run at bumpy Daytona, so how about that? Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Drag him right back in with all the other drivers as we get Sean Conklin in. Now, Conklin, one of the other drivers in the championship hunt. It looks like at the tail end of it, you were just about backwards, so third on the night. How did it feel here in Bristol?
I got DQ'd because apparently I wall rode and I didn't get any spots out of it, so I get DQ'd. So, yeah, whatever. This league is trash, and just running it to show all these guys that I am faster than them, but I keep getting screwed over by idiots and these stupid penalties. So, yeah, we were the fastest tonight, saved tires the best. Once I got up front, and I pulled away like 2 or 3 seconds, so we won the race tonight, and yeah, I'm happy with our win.
There you have it, Sean Conklin disqualified apparently for wall running. We're looking back on our feed right now and trying to see what's going on here. There was no opportunity to gain a position there. It appeared and nothing came of it. So going to be a decision on the admin's end nonetheless. So Daytona up next. Do you even plan to be there?
I mean, why not, I guess.
And we have it, things changing as soon as post-race begins. Sean Conklin from third. Looks like a bit far out of that now. So any final thoughts?
No, that's it. Garbage league.
And Conklin certainly not happy with this
Anyone watching, don't join this league. It's trash.
There we have it, certainly not happy. Sean Conklin, thank you for your time.
Yep.
And we have it, Sean Conklin disqualified at the line for wall riding, which means we have yet another driver to interview for third place. That's going to be Hunter Whitlock. And we'll try to get him in. I don't even think he knows about this at this point. He would think he finished fourth, as Whitlock is not in a voice chat and does not appear to have any knowledge of being in the fourth position going up to the third. So something happening for Whitlock. Gonna try to find out why this is the case. Might have some knowledge, might not. Hunter Whitlock still not in the voice chat as we speak. And it looks like Brandon Redford, when we try to get Whitlock in, wants to interview. So Brandon Redford, it looks like you got moved up one position here, 5th on the night, due to Sean Conklin being apparently disqualified. So a bounce back from where I thought you'd be at the end of that second stage and still keeping up Mr. Consistency. How's it feeling going into Daytona?
I've got some confidence going into Daytona. I mean, it's Daytona, so anything could happen. So I'm just hoping luck was on our side there. So yeah, I'm pretty confident for Daytona.
Now, looks like confidence going into Daytona here. Now, with a lot of time till then, 1 week, how did it go here at Bristol?
I'd say it was all right. I mean, we didn't really have the best luck today. We had a really fast car, but we just kept getting involved in incidents that we didn't need to be involved in. So that really didn't help. And we got put, I think, like 10 laps down towards the end, and then had to work our way, get those laps back. So with the last restart, we were on the lead lap. We were on fresher tires, and that's where we got all of those positions from. So it was a battle between time.
And it seems like the tires are what got you up there at the end. 2 restarts to finish it off, and how to go in both attempts on your end.
The second to last restart, we didn't really have anything to get in because we were like still 5 laps down at that point. So when that caution came out to bring us into the final restart, that was a lifesaver there, and we got our laps back there. We pit for tires, and then on the final restart, that's where we got all the positions from.
And positions coming very late for the driver to the number 47. Now, this should be still an improvement in the points hunt here. So with that being said, what's it going to take to get into the Final Four? Get back at it 1 week's time.
Just hoping for a pretty good finishing position at Daytona, get some stage points, and just hope and pray that we are within the cut line.
And there we have it, Brandon Redford, hoping to get it done at Daytona. Any final thoughts? Anything you'd like to add?
I love my mama, so there's that. But no, I don't really have anything else to say. I don't really have any guys that I need to really look out for. So, yeah. So I think we are in a pretty good spot here. We're 5th in points right now? Or we're,
You'd have to check on that. It looks like it's being updated at the moment as you say that. And as it stands going into the night, you were in the 4th position. Nothing's updated on our end.
Okay, well, I'll keep an eye on that. So, but yeah, I'm pretty confident going into Daytona and hoping for another championship run this season.
A championship run for the only driver who is eligible to go 2 times into the Final Four. Brandon Redford, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
There we have it. I do not believe we'll be able to get in with Hunter Whitlock. Now, Whitlock, who finished at the line in the 4th position, comes home in 3rd due to a wall riding penalty for Sean Conklin. But we're not going to be able to get a word on that. So as it stands, Whitlock 3rd. No word on the man who finishes in the 3rd position following post-race penalties. But nonetheless, Maximiliano wins. He wins it right there over James Thurston in a battle at the last lap. So we got to thank you all for stopping by tonight. If you enjoyed the action, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for watching the Beckman Designs 7-9.5. We will see you whenever we are live once again on FTN tomorrow night. 3 streams, the IORA Cup Series, the Highline Racing League, and the NASCAR Road to Pro Qualifying Series. And we hope to have you all there for the journey. Thank you all once again. I hope you have a great night.